Sharruth Loth, and I am a part owner in Shadowbrook Farm and Dutch Girl Creamery. We grow vegetables and have a grade A goat dairy and cut flowers as well. And I'll let you introduce yourself first.
I'm Krista Dittman, and my husband and I own Branched Oak Farm, and we have a certified organic grass-based dairy, and we make cheese and sell farm products at farmers markets as well as wholesale and on our on-farm store.
And then together we have Farmstead First, which is a cheese processing facility, which is on Branched Oak Farm, that we set up together as an LLC.
So Farmstead First is a management entity. It's a production marketing cooperative that has allowed us to individually expand our businesses by using the services that Farmstead First provides. So Farmstead First owns and manages the cheese-making equipment that's in the plant and leases space back from the landowner, and then we sublease that equipment back to ourselves. And the other services that Farmstead First provides are educational. For ourselves, we've been able to secure educational money to
have cheesemakers,
have cheesemakers come and do workshops. We've attended workshops. We've gone to the American Cheese Society annual conference to learn more about the business and network with other professionals.
Traveled a lot. We traveled to a bunch of states to see other producers doing similar cheese-making operations so that we could learn from them.
So there's a lot of overlap. I like to think of our businesses as a Venn diagram, where we each have our own separate part of the circles, but then we share the intersection of Farmstead First.
That processing facility, yeah. It was actually we did that first, I think, even before we did the feasibility with the university. So during the same time that we were applying for the producer grant, or right after that?
We applied for both of them at the same time.
Seems like the business plan class was one of the very first things that we did, which really helped kind of solidify our idea of what we were trying to accomplish. Yeah, we were actually doing we started almost doing 3 business plans at once, each of our own businesses and then the cooperative venture, which was the processing facility. And I think by doing that we could separate things, because at first we were unclear about how it was all going to work. And that's why we decided not to market through Farmstead First per se, rather keep that completely separate from our marketing so that each of our farm products remained our farm products. And the only thing that was marketed, or that we did through the LLC of Farmstead First, was classes and outreach, which.
But then again, as a management entity, it allowed us to work at farmers markets together, and we would be able to sell each other's product because of Farmstead First being a production marketing cooperative. Then we weren't each required to have our separate booth. And at the beginning, that was really important while we were still building our herds and building our product line, so that we could share the cost of running those booths as well.
And we even had another producer that was renting space at our facility sell his product through our Farmstead First booth. So it almost worked as a cooperative, which, even though it really wasn't set up as a cooperative, we worked with each other to sell 3 different producers' products at one location. We still kept the money separate by having very careful inventories, but we were able to share that marketing of the products. Well, the economics, of course, is important to make sure that it's feasible, and it seems like it's going to work out, but that's always evolving as well. Things have come up and been changed.
I think engaging in the process of creating a business plan and writing it, it's a process of clarifying for yourself what are your goals and what are your intentions for your business, clarifying what your expectations are for yourself, what things can I realistically expect of myself to do, and create how much energy do I have? Do I have the wherewithal to continue doing it? And I think if you can't even finish that process, that might be an indicator that you shouldn't continue with the venture. I think it just displayed for us that we're both pretty tenacious and that we are willing to continue to grow in our conceptualization of our individual businesses, as well as that middle ground of what things we do cooperatively, how we work together. I made the analogy previously that it's like balancing the cooperative effort and individual initiative. And I think it's interesting now that so much political time is spent talking about where our country is going, and I think, you know, we've lived through some of that.
Yeah, we've done some of that ourselves.
We've experienced that cooperative effort and the balance between contributing to the community and achieving our individual goals.
I think it probably could use a revision for sure, yeah. But yeah, there's some things.
To once again, like, clearly articulate where we're going. Things have certainly changed, I think, in both of our businesses. And in Farmstead First over 5 years.
I think that's pretty normal. It's impossible not to go through business and have things not, change and need adjusting. Yes.
That was definitely part of the class that was emphasized.
We haven't done it yet, but we definitely need to. I know that, and I recognize that. So hopefully that'll happen in the next 5 years.
I like determining my own schedule, and certainly sometimes the work determines my schedule, or what the cows are doing. I think I enjoy the creative opportunities of having to balance production, marketing, distribution, advertising. I enjoy having to kind of pull in a lot of different skills in my daily routine.
Yeah, definitely never a dull moment. And doing this type of thing where you're actually producing the milk and making the product and doing the advertising and doing the marketing and doing the delivering, it's a little sometimes a little overwhelming because it's hard to keep up with that as one person. And as we've gotten a little bit bigger, we have a few employees now, so life's a little less crazy, but that also makes it very interesting, and you don't get tired of doing the same thing. I mean, there's some monotony to cheese making and dairying, of course, but there's also a lot of different facets to the business. So that's wonderful. And if you have family, both Krista and I had children during all of this as well, and you can work around school schedules, or although it does seem like I still work late almost every single night, but it's a little less. It's a little bit more flexible, I guess, than if you had a job you had to go to every day.